What's good, Internet? We're live. Episode 3, Morningwood. Hardwood Herald's NBA show with Corey and Larry Villains. We're here. And by here, I mean we're at Larry Villains' house because there was a big storm on Long Island, New York, where we reside, and my house lost power and internet. So I'm doing it in the basement. Larry's doing it in his office. And we're here to have a good time, given the circumstances, which changed for me and not for Larry.
When you leave, you gotta see my neighbor's fence, or you gotta see where my neighbor's fence used to be.
Yeah, that's more like it. I will say, luckily enough, nothing was damaged, no trees on cars or anything, so that's nice.
It is nice.
But speaking of damage, the Memphis Grizzlies got a little bit damaged last night. Jaren Jackson injury.
It sucks, man. He's just so young. He's doing so damn good. I really hope he makes it back. I mean, he should be all right. It's an MCL, right? Meniscus. So yeah. I hope he'll be ready to go. I assume by the start of the next season. But it sucks for sure.
Yeah, it sucks. Thank God it's not an ACL. I mean, what sucks from a basketball standpoint is, like you said, he was playing so well, so talented. He fits so well with Ja Morant, makes them so exciting, and now it feels like without Jaren Jackson, the Grizzlies don't really have enough to – maybe they'll hold on to the 8th spot, but once that play-in game happens, I just can't see how they can deal with the loss of Jaren Jackson like that.
And that sucks because this is now 2 days in a row we start this with an injury.
Yeah.
Start this podcast with an injury. So that sucks. And, it's unfortunate to be able to have to do that 2 days in a row. Now, the rumor or the words going around town was always this is supposed to be a young man's bubble, or this is going to be advantageous for young players. And we now have 2 young players in a row back to back who get injured. So
yeah, it's the injury thing that's the tough part. And I mean, I don't think anybody didn't expect injuries to happen.
Right.
Considering, but like you said, you would figure that it would probably be the older guys. The younger guys, you could play when you're that age. You can play basketball every single day,
right,
hours and hours, and feel fine. So, I mean, these 2 injuries are more so kind of freak injuries than anything else. But it's a shame. And you alluded to Jonathan Isaac as the second guy who had just gotten hurt. And yesterday we talked about maybe that'll lead to more minutes to Mo Bamba. But what we got was no Bamba.
I picked the Magic to be my best bet yesterday.
Yeah,
I was wildly incorrect. As I've been trying to tell you guys since day one, look out for TJ Warren. As I've been saying since North Carolina, TJ Warren's my guy. He's coming. He's here to stay.
That Pacers jersey is actually a TJ Warren jersey.
Well, it's actually it's Reggie Miller. And it might be the size that the actual Reggie Miller wears.
Right.
I don't know why this was something that's in my closet.
I mean, I know why it's in your closet because you can't get rid of it.
No. What am I going to throw this out?
You're not going to throw it out. No.
I got to keep it until I die.
Right. Here's my thing with the way that NBA jerseys were styled back then, because you bought that early 2000s probably?
Probably 2003.
Yeah, right. Look at the way it hangs off your shoulders.
I understand.
Like, when did we decide that this end one style, like where you're almost turning the jerseys into like a T-shirt that you would cut up? When did we decide that was the cool thing?
I feel like this was a Vince Sanity thing. I feel like this is a Vince Carter Raptors thing. I think that's where it started, in my opinion.
I don't know. The NBA,
I don't know either.
They really lost it away.
Hey, so I'm looking at my stats.
Yeah.
And am I Victor Oladipo?
Are you?
Like, according to my stats down below.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think I'm Pacers' own Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, I think so. Oladipo's probably got a little bit more on his dunk meter than you do.
Okay.
But
I can see it.
But maybe your bubble Oladipo, who's coming back from the knee injury.
Okay. I like it.
I don't know who I am, but
that looks like JJ Redick.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Let's go Grayson Allen. I don't want to disrespect JJ like that.
Sure.
Another thing we talked about was the Bucks bench yesterday.
I don't get that. So, I mean, all right. First off, it's same concept. The Nets are 2-1 in the bubble. Who had their money on that?
Hopefully, somebody who had to put a lot of it on them.
And they got Jamal Crawford coming back now. So what is the point of them benching? The Bucks lost yesterday to the Nets with benching Giannis and Middleton in the second half. What is Budenholzer's plan for that?
I don't know.
The only thing I can think about is they already have the first seed locked.
Yeah.
Realistically. And I guess they're giving their guys a rest, but they didn't play the day before. It's not like they were on a back-to-back. So I don't necessarily completely get it unless they're trying to keep the Nets in that 8th spot.
Sure. That's a good conspiracy theory.
It's a good conspiracy theory, right? So that's the only thing I can think of. I don't get it why, what other reason it could be. And it makes me think also, can an unfortunate outcome be some of these bubble games where realistically seeding doesn't really matter, unless you're playing, assuming you got the matchups and everything like that you want because there's no home court advantage. Can we see more situations like this?
Where with some strategic tanking, not tanking, whatever you want to refer to it.
Yeah, because what does it matter? If you're already locked in at the second, or even if you're 4 or 5, what's the point of playing your starters?
Yeah, if you have something locked up, all you're going to do is risk the injury that I was complaining about with Derrick Rose, Jonathan Isaac in that situation. So I get it. And also, we were talking about the Bucks bench. If you take Middleton, Giannis out, and you could create minutes for the young players,
sure,
you possibly get that more experience, get back in the swing of things, take on a little bit bigger responsibility. So when the time comes and the playoffs do come, maybe they're a little bit more prepared instead of just sitting back and letting Giannis and Middleton cook, and they're just hitting spot-up jumpers.
I mean, Eric Bledsoe needs all the minutes he can get to be able to. He's got to ball out this upcoming playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that I think is going to be their X factor is Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay.
And so maybe getting him prepared for the playoffs is going to be an important subplot for them, because I look at going back to their bench, I look at their bench, and he's really the only guy that I go, this guy can get hot, and he's a good defender. He's definitely that dude that looks like he's keeping it real on the pickup court, who has like the shape up and the sick fade, and you either love playing with him or hate playing with him because he's talking trash. I think you would hate playing with him on the court or against him, just in general playing pickup. But I think he's really going to be a big player for them in the playoffs. And he had a good game yesterday, but like we said, Bucks lost. But he's a guy that when he was at Villanova, I mean, he really came up big in a big spot. He had 30-something points in the championship game.
I still think the Bucks X factor is going to be Eric Bledsoe. If Bledsoe can put up points and do his thing, be regular season Bledsoe, then fine. But the last 2 years, it has not been that, and that's been their crutch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I agree. I mean, that's just, you can't rely on George Hill at where he's at in his career to be the point guard version of what they need. You need Eric Bledsoe to do that.
And what's also the Bucks are also in that spot too, which a lot of these teams are going to be, and I think we should talk about it one day. Is that how do they get better the upcoming season? If the Bucks don't win and they need to go all in, how do they get better? I have no idea how a lot of these teams are going to get better due to the salary cap restrictions that are about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we know. I don't think we could speculate until we figure out just how all of this is going to play out money-wise with the salary.
I'm thinking, I mean, maybe I'm just assuming it's going to be reverse 2016. That's my opinion. I have no idea. But where 2016, the cap increased so much basically overnight, and I think it's going to happen the reverse this time, where it's just going to go back down. And, eventually it will go back up as things normalize and everything like that. But I think we're going to have a drastic drop unless, they'd rolled out the idea of smoothing then. I'm not sure if that's something they're going to talk about now. If you can even smooth it the opposite way, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that would be the smart move. I don't know how much it's going to go down next year, but I do think that for some teams, not like the Bucks, but for a team like, let's say, your New York Knicks, I think a guy like Fred VanVleet, who is playing out of his mind, played out of his mind in the finals last year, has proven to be a very good player in the NBA. And normally, if none of this happened, is going to command well over $20 million a year.
Right.
This could be an opportunity for a team, again, like your New York Knicks, to say, hey, maybe we could get him on a little bit of a discount.
Sure.
Based on the fact that we don't know how contracts are going to be looking going forward. So when things do normalize, let's say you sign him for 18, 19, 20 million, which might be steep for Toronto, depending on how they feel about Lowry for the next couple of years. Maybe that could turn into some kind of like a value deal.
So I was thinking about that also, and not so much at that level, but that makes sense. I agree with you. But I'm also concerned about the players who, the vets who are on that contract that's expiring, that clearly are probably not worth the money anymore, that are going to sign for the minimum on championship teams or championship caliber teams. So, for example, like Derek Favors. Derek Favors is a free agent, probably not worth the money that, he's making right now, 17, 18 million. Put him on Golden State next season for that, championship run on a minimum contract. That's annoying.
That would be annoying. But with a guy like him, I think he's still too good to be on the minimum. I think he's at least a mid-level guy.
Maybe.
Which, hey.
That still same situation?
Yes, that would still be a great fit for him. But that a lot depends too. Like, maybe the Warriors end up with James Wiseman in the draft, and who knows how they fill out.
Sure. Now, what about, you could still put Derek Favors in regards to on the Lakers or something like that as well. It's the same idea.
The Celtics.
Yeah. Oh, great. That's annoying. So I think that, those, I feel like there's going to be more players like that upcoming in this, however the actual salary cap and free agency works out, is I think that they're just not going to find the money that they want. So you might as well go take the 1-year deal or 2-year deal or one with the one opt out to try to get your ring and then go get paid again. I think that's probably going to be an outcome for a lot of these guys, that middle of the road, mid-level guys.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I want to see also a lot of these players or a lot of these teams that, who are, paying the cap tax, how they got to get under, and if it's low, then they're in a lot of trouble. Because like the Warriors, I would imagine would like to get under, but and I assume everybody's assuming with them taking on Wiggins, that they could possibly try to move him or something like that to get under the cap. But if the cap's much lower, then they're screwed salary cap tax. They might as well just go all in and pay the tax.
Yeah, I think that's what a team like them, they're going to compete for a championship next year anyway. I'm sure that's what the plan is.
They're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine. Let's talk about the Suns.
Okay.
The Suns
are dumb. They traded TJ Warren. They dumb.
They're going nuclear. Everything's turning up roses for them. Devin Booker looks incredible.
They're 3-0, right?
3-0.
DeAndre Ayton's good.
Oh, he's really good.
He is really good.
Shocker, number 1 pick in a draft is really good.
He might be 40, but he's good.
He does look incredibly old. I'll tell you who else is good.
He looks like he lost his son on Lost.
Walt!
No, he's an animal. It's ridiculous. I underestimated the range, the athleticism he has. It's insane. He's really good.
What I loved about him coming out of the draft when he was playing at Arizona is that he's an insane rebounder.
Yeah.
And he's a good passer, especially once he gets a rebound. Like, he would get a rebound and just hit a perfect outlet right away.
Sure.
And who doesn't love a good fast break? If you have a good rebounder who could hit an outlet pass, you get going, you get running, and you look at a team like the Suns, who have a lot of young athletic players like that, it's a really great fit. And he's just improved tremendously on the defensive end, where there were some concerns with him, but he figured it out this year, and he's only going to get better. But my shocker, and I threw a little Twitter poll out last night, saying who is the most surprising bubble player in the NBA bubble season so far. Was it T.J. Warren averaging 1 million points per game, or is it Cam Payne averaging over 10 points a game on shooting from the field and three? What's more shocking? I told you it was a good trade.
God damn it! That took 20 minutes to get the Bulls somehow in. That was pretty good. So I liked Devin Booker with the big, last second shot for the win over Paul George.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you watch the highlight again, you can almost see Devin Booker be like, I got Rubio in the corner, or I got Paul George hands in my face. I'm taking this.
It was the right move.
It was the right move. I mean, yeah, the Suns are a lot of fun. The Suns are a group of players that I like them all. I still hate the organization. They made a lot of bad moves, but I like all the players. It's hard to not.
I absolutely love Mikal Bridges. As we said, he's a guy that I'd probably take over T.J. Warren going forward, even though T.J. Warren's averaging 1 million points a game now, so maybe I'm going to have to rethink that. But even
Carolina,
another Villanova guy who was awesome at I mean, he won 2 national championships at Villanova. He's just a winning player, and defensively, he's just a beast. I mean, the Suns' Twitter account tweeted out a video of him checking Kawhi last night, and his defense is just picture perfect. It's like a really cool close-up angle. I love the Suns. I hope that they can continue this on in this momentum into next season, because I don't think they're going to make it to the play-in game. So I think we're only going to get them for a few more games, but I think this is a really positive experience for them going forward.
Is there something wrong with the Clippers or no?
Well, if we're to assume that the Suns are playing really well, I don't know if it's fair to assume that they beat a weird Clippers team. They might have just had the talent to beat them that night. But yeah, the Clippers better turn it on quick.
They're still waiting for the light switch. It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. They better turn that light switch on quick, because if they don't, things are going to get weird. And who knows what's happening with Kawhi's health long term, if he has a degenerative condition. Like, is this the year they sign short deals? Maybe the cap going down is going to be a good thing for the Clippers.
I think it is. I was actually thinking about that too, in the effect of the cap going down, because I think it's going to help the Lakers too. Because if AD puts up 40, 45 points a game in these playoffs and they lose, if AD had other options, I could see him exploring other options. But he's going to make the most money off the Lakers and probably just opt in and wait another year and see what happens. And it's the same thing, to see what happens with Paul George and Kawhi.
Yeah, I agree. I think those are that's the most likely scenario. Luka's awesome. Another shocker.
It's insane. It's such a shame how much I like Luka and how much I hate KP.
Yeah.
It's just it sucks. It really sucks.
Where are you at on Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I'm fine with it. Like, it's no hurt feeling. I mean, probably because I know Tim Hardaway is going to be back. Like, he's the Knicks' ex-girlfriend that you just keep calling up.
Third time's a charm.
He's going to come back. So
you're drunk at a bar one night.
Come home.
You see Tim Hardaway at the bar. It's been a while. You catch up. You remember how funny he is.
And it's just going to be, Tim, 2 a.m., you up? And that's it. He's back, baby. Number 5.
Look, he's a great supporting player because he could shoot the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, I like Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. was never the problem. Tim Hardaway's contract was the problem. That was the problem. Tim Hardaway's a good player. I enjoy Tim Hardaway. I loved him on the Knicks, but the contract, we had to take him from the Hawks, and we had to pay a lot of money to do that. So that was the only problem with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, that was, but He'll be back.
Can contribute. Yeah, he can contribute to he can definitely contribute to a winning team for sure.
I know you haven't gotten rid of the New York Knicks number 5 jersey that you've been just recycling through Jason Kidd and Tim Hardaway.
Yeah. I've been waiting. As you can see, it's got about 16 years left in me. At least.
Minimum. All right. Best bet of the day.
Best bet of the day. We're both 0-1. Both did not kill it yesterday. I am going with the Raptors minus 6.5 on the Magic. The Magic, who I used as my best bet yesterday, who have proved me wrong and now are dead to me. You're
doing a full 360 on them.
Full 360 on them. We're going to go with the Raptors. I just don't see how the Magic can score points. The Raptors defense is too good.
The Raptors defense is insane.
And Magic aren't back-to-back, if that matters anything.
Yeah, I don't know. They're young. I don't know. Let's go Markelle Fultz. Let's go Mo Bamba. Get Mo Bamba off the bench. Come on.
They were resting him yesterday for today to screw my best bet.
God, that would be amazing if that was I'm going to go with the Celtics minus 8.5 over the Nets. This Nets thing is cute. The Celtics had a rough go at it yesterday. Rough shooting day for Jaylen Brown. I think they bounce back. I think that there's just too much going on for the Celtics, with the Celtics for the Nets to really compete. I don't know if Jamal Crawford's playing. I know he left the game early with I think a hamstring or a quad situation. I don't know if they're going to have him.
You factor in Lance Thomas is on the Nets.
Well, I wasn't factoring that in. A beloved New York Knick.
I like it. There's so many guys the Knicks paid contracts to during that time that are still in the NBA on some of these bubble team benches. I saw Kyle O'Quinn the other day.
Yeah, still not that good. Good beard, really good beard. Underrated beard like better beard than Harden.
Yeah, probably.
Very thick, clean. The Nets also have Timothy Luau-Cabarrot going absolutely insane for that.
I've actually been thinking, is there like a barber that's in the bubble? How does that work?
Yeah, there is. Awesome. They literally set up it literally is like 2K, the camp. Like the bubble is like a 2K campus.
Nice.
They literally set up, it's like a small, probably like 20 by 20 barbershop.
Nice.
And I guess the barber is, I mean, I can't imagine he's taking 20s from the players. I guess he's just on like salary there.
Like who chooses that? Like I doubt Adam Silver is like on the line trying to find barbers for the bubble. Like,
no, they literally asked like the top players, like, hey,
gotcha,
vote for your favorite barbers to end up the bubble. And I guess they reached out to the barbers and were like, hey, do you want to stay in this little bubble thing for 2 months, 3 months, and you can't come to the games?
I could see like some players like Deion Waiters probably like, nah, that guy ain't touching my hair. I have my own guy. I can see that happening for sure.
100%. Deion Waiters is the epitome of Dave Chappelle's When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Nice.
Never in the history of humanity has anybody embodied When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong like Deion Waiters does.
Love that.
All right, that's it. Another episode. Morningwood. We did it. TJ Warren still averaging 1 million points.
As I said.
As Larry said from the beginning.
North Carolina, raise up.
Campaign still averaging 10 points, like I said, from the beginning. And that'll do it. See you guys tomorrow.